I think the idea here is really, have I saved enough for retirement? You're solving the wrong problems. Welcome to the Retire on Time Q&A podcast. I'm Michael Decker with David Franson from Kedrick Wealth. As always, text your questions to 913-363-1234 and we'll feature them on the show. The purpose of the show is to not give you that oversimplified advice you've heard hundreds of times. We want to give you context and clarity. We want to get to the nitty-gritty, as they say. Now that remember this, just remember this is a show. This is not financial advice. Keep doing some research. All right, David, what do we got today?
Hey, Mike, how long does $2 million last in retirement?
How do I know?
I guess it depends on your habits.
That's like saying, and it's a fair question and it's a good question, but it's not a full question.
Okay. In your mind, what would be the full
Yeah.
question?
So first off, you need $2 million. Great. Is there anything else we need to know? As in, like, do you have a pension? What's your Social Security going to look like? How much income do you want? Like, there are so many questions that go into it that I think the idea here is really, have I saved enough for retirement?
Yeah.
And the problem with this is you're solving the wrong questions or the wrong problems. So $2 million, let's just do an arbitrary kind of calculation.
All right.
So $2 million, roughly speaking, is going to get you, I'm going to do just, we'll do 4%, so about $80,000 a year, or let's do 5% or $100,000 a year or so. Okay, so that's
Just
kind
like
of
in growth.
that's the range,
Okay.
but it's an inaccurate number. And the reason is let's say you've got $2 million and you are 63 years old and you're retiring at 63 years old and you
Okay.
want to file for Social Security at 67 years old. Maybe you take out 8% of portfolio withdrawals for a couple of years. And then when your Social Security kicks on, you're only taking out 3%.
Mm.
So those are nuances we need to know. Here's the analogy of that, by the way, is um, too many people will say, I've got $2 million so I can take out 80,000 a year. Gross, by the way, because chances are these $2 million, it's in your IRA.
Uh-huh.
So you got to pay taxes on that. So $80,000, what's your state income tax? What's the federal income tax bracket? You got to do that calculation. But I digress. So $80,000 to $100,000, whatever it might be. So that's the first part of the conversation. The second one is like, are you just going to stick to a very rigid number, 4 or 5%?
Oh, right.
So here's the riddle, and it's an easy riddle. If you've got rocks and sand and you need to put it into the jar, which one do you put in first? For efficiency's sake, which one do you put in first? Well, if you put the sand in first and then the rocks in second, just imagine that for a second. You got a jar. You put the sand in first, the rocks in second. The rocks are going to sit on top of the sand,
Yep.
and there's all of these gaps within the rocks. It's inefficient. That's like saying I can take out $80,000 or $100,000 a year, whatever your comfortable withdrawal rate is, and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of it's a rough situation. But the other side of this coin, if I may,
Yes, you may.
and the riddle is, if you put in the rocks first and then the sand in second, the sand fills in all the gaps, cracks, and crevices, making it more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
So you might take out more income for a couple of years, which that increases your risk because you're increasing the withdrawal rate. So be very careful about the structuring of your portfolio. Maybe take it from like a couple of CDs, or maybe you do a SPIA, single premium instant annuity, or a MYGA ladder, or a CD ladder, or a treasury ladder. It's something to kind of create some stability in there. So if the markets go down, you don't accentuate those losses, just for what it's worth. But then when Social Security kicks on, you're blending the different withdrawal rates. That's the idea, is the efficiencies that are here. You want context in your plan. You don't want to say, well, I've got $2 million, 80,000, or is what I'm going to get, plus the Social Security. I'll just wait till I'm 67 years old. You're giving up years of your life because you didn't want to blend income strategies. You didn't want to blend withdrawal rates. You didn't want to bring context into the equation. Okay, are you with me so far in all this?
Yeah, I think we probably crave like simplicity, right? So it seems so simplistic. Like, oh, here's my Social Security, here's my annuity, then I know I can just be done with it and focus on something else. But that may not be to our advantage, I think is what you're saying. And Got to be willing to blend some things.
You want to have blending. Now, there are three ways you could take this portfolio and blend the strategies. Okay. So here's a couple of options.
All
Okay.
right.
First one is the laddered approach. So you might just say, well, gosh, here's the plan, which you can go to retireontime.com and play with the retirement planning. It's the retirement planner, basically. So
All
it's
right.
it's a simple yet pretty complicated. That
All
I'm
right.
contradicting myself. It can do a lot, but it also can keep things very simple.
All right.
You put in the inputs, you see your projections. That's your plan.
All
Okay.
right.
Then you can optimize it a little bit, play with the different features. At that point, then you can say, okay, well, here's what I need for my portfolio in year one. So I'm going to put some money over here. It's going to grow at this rate, and that pays out at this point. Then you've got year two, and you can just rinse and repeat this and kind of find your income strategy in the short term and invest everything else for long term growth.
Mm.
That protects you from market crashes in the short term. It helps protect you from really just um, I don't know, the uncertainties of the market. It's market crashes, but also hedges against inflation. See, if everything's in fixed accounts and you get hyperinflation, you're hurting.
Yeah.
So you're blending things together, and you could do the laddered approach. We call it the laddered reserves, as we call it here. The other one's the dynamic strategy, where you've got some assets in a fixed indexed annuity or buffered ETFs. So when markets go down, you pull income from protected sources.
Hmm.
That's kind of a nice strategy. But do you see how it all kind of these tools are being used to support a plan?
Yeah.
But the plan is the calculation. Is the $2 million going to last for the time that you want it to last?
Uh,
Maybe you only need $40,000 a year, so the rest is invested for legacy purposes. Maybe you need more, so you're gonna turn on the more aggressive side
mm,
of the situation, the withdrawal rates.
okay.
You're gonna inherit more risk with that. Are you okay with that risk? Are you aware of that risk?
Mm.
So it's heavily nuanced. People are trying to solve how much income or how much they need to save to be able to retire. Well, isn't the first question how much is it going to cost for you to retire? And that number, by the way, isn't how much you're spending right now. It's how much you're going to spend when you retire. See, when you lose work, you're kind of being paid to do an activity,
Yeah.
right? I'm going to call it an activity, not a hobby. Not everyone likes their
Yeah.
job, but that's really what you're doing.
Right.
So, how much is your next activity or activities going to cost?
Right.
And is that going to adjust your income? Because the last thing you want, probably, is to retire and sit home and watch the news all day and
Yeah.
doom scroll on social media. You're
Yeah.
going to be miserable.
Right. And there's probably a lot of that happens, right? There's a lot of that happening, and it's not. We know it's not good for us to just sit and
No,
do
not,
that.
not good at all. And so here's an oversimplified kind of income plan. I've got $2 million. What can I work with? Well, someone might say, well, let's take 60% of your assets of $2 million. We're going to put it in an income annuity. And let's say that it's going to give you 7% payout rate, which is what it's paying out roughly today.
All right.
I'm not quoting any specific products. I'm giving you a general range of what I've seen
Mm-hmm.
as of late. Just remember back in the 2015, 2016, the payout rate was like 4 or 5%.
Oh.
So these are going to change. What is it going to be in the year? I have no idea.
Right.
But right now, because interest rates are high, because treasuries are paying out better than they used to historically for the past 15 years, that's kind of what you might see. So you take 60% of $2 million, you put it into a lifetime income stream, it pays out 7%. That would be $84,000 a year, guaranteed for life. That's a nice, we call it the baseline reserves.
Mm.
So you pair that up, and then you invest the rest to offset inflation, healthcare costs, and so on. That's a simple strategy.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily right or wrong. It's just a simple approach, but we're still missing the point. What are you retiring into? What does your life look like? There are so many ways you can structure the income. You can structure the tax planning. You could even do that 60% to the baseline, and then maybe even take a little bit off of your invest the rest to try and front load the travel costs. But it's still all based on the question, what do you want your life to look like?
Mm-hmm.
What's the lifestyle for you? Are you going to be spending your time doing charitable work? Does that cost money to travel for your charitable work? Or are you going down the road to your local church or charity to help out?
Yeah.
different costs, different expectations. And so, though I appreciate the question, we want to stop asking, how much do I need to save? And start asking, how much, or really start asking the question, how much does it cost to live the life that's going to bring me happiness,
Mhm.
joy, and well being? I don't want to say purpose. That's such a cliche.
Mm,
What are you going to do that's going to bring you happiness?
yeah. Well, so for me, I don't know, maybe play some tennis, ride some bikes.
Okay, that's your activities.
Yeah.
What else? There has to be a romantic relationship involved.
Oh, I
Uh,
got that covered.
Yeah, I think you like your wife
I
a
do
little bit.
a lot.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Romantic. Then you've got familiar relationships.
Oh, yeah. I have friends, I have
No,
children.
family. You have children.
I do.
Hopefully, they'll stick around and want to hang out with you more often.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, yeah. You got good kids.
Yeah.
Your mom too. She's a cool lady.
She is.
So
She'll be around for a little bit
So
longer.
we've got romance, we've got the family, and then you've got friends.
Yeah.
So if your family gets tired of you, do you have other people you can associate with?
I do, yeah.
Your mountain bike group,
That's true.
okay? Then you've got the 5 activities. So you've got your physical activities,
Yeah.
tennis, mountain biking, and so on,
Yeah.
okay? Do you have intellectual activities?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, there's always something more to learn. There's scripture study, there's just more secular style study. And then there's just sort of, fun books to read or movies to watch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, movies to watch if you're into cinematography and you wanna get into the art of it.
Oh, yeah.
If you're watching movies just to like trying to opt out of life, that's actually worse for you. So
Oh,
there's a fine balance in
okay.
here.
Yes.
All right. What about, so we got your physical activities, we got your intellectual activities. Um, what about your religious activities?
Oh, yeah. Very heavily involved.
And if you're not religious, meditative activities.
Yeah.
Okay. Another one here is going to be your legacy activities. And I
Uh-huh.
don't know if you've thought about this one or not. I read about in the book that's soon to be published. But if you've gained knowledge and you're able to pass it on to someone, whether it's writing your kind of your life story,
Mm.
whether you're working in mega, I mean, you could be tutoring someone, you could be a coach to someone. That's actually very meaningful.
Yeah.
And then the last one is charitable activities. So if you have all 5 of those, there's a higher probability you're going to have a happy life. You're going to be fulfilled. You're going to enjoy it. If you don't have all 5 of those, who cares about the 2 million goal?
Right.
What do you want your life to look like? How much does that cost? Then we can say, yeah, you've saved enough.
Right.
The financial services space has sold people a bag of goods that leads to depression. And that is, you need to save enough so you can stop. Life is not about stopping, it's about starting. And when you stop working, you need to fill that time with something that's going to almost challenge you more than work.
Yeah.
You want to be challenged in life. You don't want to be the old grouchy individual that's sitting on a porch yelling at the neighborhood
Mm.
kids because you've got nothing better to do because you sat down all morning and you watched the news and you got upset, so you went outside to yell at someone.
Yeah.
That's not what you want, yet so many people do it. And for what it's worth too, the people that don't set up the 5 critical components of a retirement, not retirement plan, retirement lifestyle,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
oh man, it's sad how miserable they get and how fast they get there.
Even if they are sitting on $2 million, it could be accompanied with misery if there's not those other.
Some of the most miserable people I know are some of the wealthiest people I know. It's because they don't know what to do with themselves. They obsessed over becoming the richest person, that now they're going to end up being the richest person in the graveyard, and they're going to be very lonely along the way. They forgot how to make, or they never learned how to make meaningful relationships. Humans are hardwired to connect. We need to connect. So
Yeah.
do you notice the activities are all doing something with other people?
Hmm.
So let's first answer not what the financial services space wants you to answer, which is, hey, you can afford to retire because it's roughly what you're making right now. Give me all your money. I'll give you a retirement plan. We're good to go. No, 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 no.
Yeah.
Pump the brakes, keep working, and structure your lifestyle first. Then figure out how much does that cost. Give yourself some wiggle room because life is dynamic. Then you figure out, have you saved enough to support it?
Uh, It's kinda like when you're in college and you can't take the 3 or 400 level classes until you've taken the 1 or 200 level classes. You don't just, jump right up unless you can test out, like, "Oh, I already know how to speak Spanish," or whatever, right? But you gotta take the prerequisites before you get to
Kind of.
the other class. So having a plan, was that kind of the prerequisite to, "Okay, and then do I have enough to fund this plan?"
I would see it more of a sequence
Okay.
than anything because in college, it gets more complicated.
Oh.
I think the financial side of it is the simplest part
Oh, yeah, yeah, I guess you're right.
because the emotions are the most we are complicated
Yeah,
individuals.
I see that.
And so to me, I think it's more like baking cookies.
Alright.
All right.
Now let's hear
And
this.
I bake a really good chocolate chip cookie. I mean, it is really good.
There might be somebody else here in the office that would challenge you on that.
Yeah, Isaac, our
We'll
our
s
over here,
we'll report back on that
um,
later.
we're gonna do a cookie cook off. But here's the deal. Okay, when you're baking cookies, if you throw it all in there, blend it all together, and it's not as good. There's a sequence to baking that I have found is important,
Uh-huh.
and people have heard this, but often they ignore it. And that's mixing the dry ingredients first, mixing the wet ingredients, and then you slowly add them together. Right?
Mhm.
There's a chemical sequence that you want certain things to be blended first. Here's a fun pancake tip.
Alright.
So, you got your dry and your wet ingredients together, you put them together
Yep.
here, and if you add then a little dollop of sour cream at the end and mix it very little, just a very little amount, there's an interesting chemical reaction that happens with the sour cream being something that has, just the components of sour cream and how it's built with also the built-in proteins in there and
Uh-huh.
the acidity, it creates a fluffier pancake. But if you add the sour cream at the beginning, it doesn't do anything.
Huh.
So, specifically in the baking industry,
Mhm.
there's a proper sequence of adding certain ingredients together at certain times that leads to a better result. If you try to put your plan together first and then figure out life second, you probably won't have as good of a result if you put your life together first and then your plan second to support that life. It's an order of operations issue
Mm.
that people get wrong. And I think it's a lot of it is the hysteria of have you saved enough? Oh, you have based on the impartial information. So now you can retire. Great. Retire now, figure out what you want to do. That's why I get these clients all the time. They're preparing to retire and they're starting into retirement and they're like, yeah, our friends want to like do everything we do. And they say they've already done it, but they got bored. So they're now trying to enjoy retirement through our eyes because it's our first go with it all. And they think that's kind of weird. I'm like, yeah, they got the order, the sequence wrong.
Mm.
I mean, then there's so many different ways to sequence correctly. I mean, look at dating, right? This is kind of a weird example, but just hear me out for a second,
Okay,
okay?
alright.
When you're dating, do you start by getting married and then figure things out? Or maybe do you go on a first date and see if you kind of are interested in going on a second date?
Yeah.
And then the second date, do you want to go on the third date? And then you decide, do you want to eventually be boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever your dating situation is? I don't want to step on that landline.
Yeah.
And then you go into, hey, I really enjoy spending time with you. Maybe we should get married. And then you get engaged and then you take it a little bit more seriously and then you eventually get married, right?
Yeah.
There's a important sequence of maybe emotionally connecting first and then later on you intimately connect and the emotional connection needs to be before the intimate connection for a relationship to work. I mean anything in life, there's a proper sequence to it and almost without fail when you have the sequence wrong, you experience a rough patch. It doesn't guarantee it's not going to work out. It just means life's going to get more difficult
Mm.
because you got the sequence out of line. That's all I'm saying. And retirement planning, when someone walks in or they schedule that 30-minute call with us here at Kedrick Wealth, and I say, what do you want your life to look like? They say, I don't know. I just hate my job. I say, great. Let's figure out your lifestyle first before we put the plan together. They say, are you a therapist? No, I'm not a
Yeah.
therapist, but I don't want to set you up for failure.
Yeah.
Well, I'll figure it out later. You might not. And
Right.
the odds are not in your favor.
Right.
So even if you're working an extra month or two, slowing down and spending this time can do so much good for your overall quality of life.
Mm.
That's all I'm saying. So $2 million, it may be way more than you need. It might not even be close to enough. It just depends.
I
So
like it.
That's all the time we've got for this question. If you enjoyed the question, the content, the conversation, don't forget to like, subscribe wherever you get your podcast, or if you're watching this on YouTube, always go to retireontime.com to grab a copy of the book, to attend our workshops, and enjoy our calculators and so much more. That's www.retireontime.com. And we'll see you in the next episode.